Hello and welcome to the CX Files podcast. I'm your host, Mark Hillary. This week I'm in Silicon Valley in California at the launch of the new Teleperformance Innovation Experience Center. Teleperformance is a CX giant with over 300,000 employees globally in over 400 facilities, serving customers in 170 different countries. They just opened this new facility in Santa Clara, California, and it's entirely focused on innovation. I caught up with Dave Rizzo, the Asia Pacific president, to ask why they opened this center and how they're focused on innovation today. Okay, Dave, we're here at the TP Innovation Center, or Innovation Experience Center, to give it the full name, right here in Silicon Valley. Why is Teleperformance opening this center, and why is it here in California?
So I think one of the reasons we're opening the center is because, the degree of end-to-end business solutions that we're providing to our customers today has evolved significantly over the last several years. And so to have an opportunity and a showcase to be able to demonstrate a lot of that, which is a lot in terms of process, a lot in terms of technologies, solutions, capabilities, case studies, etc. I think having that under a roof to be able to give that visibility. At the same time, in our innovation center here, we have the opportunity to take our clients and our prospects around the world and to be able to, see the operation in India or in Cairo or in China, which I think is a unique differentiator. In terms of the location, if we think about many of the customers that we support around the globe, a lot of new economy companies that are looking at hyperscale and development, many of them are based here in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley.
Okay, great. Well, the title of this place includes innovation. So how important is innovation today to the clients you speak to? Are they coming to you now not just asking for a customer service function, but also expecting you to have ideas about how their business is going to evolve?
I think the latter part is true. Our customers are not asking, they expect it. And I think when our partners look to Teleperformance to be able to provide a differentiated service, part of the expectation is that we do innovate for them. And of course, innovation can mean a lot of different things. It could be as simple as, creating, process improvements and taking waste out of the business to something new in the form of a technology or capability. And so it is an expectation. It's something that we also measure annually with our clients during our client satisfaction surveys that we issue on an annual basis to understand, how we're doing for them. Because a scorecard tells you one thing, but not just doing what's being asked, I think, is the expectation.
Mm-hmm. And it seems quite a development in the industry then. Is Teleperformance being seen as a partner offering expertise and ideas across the entire customer journey, rather than just, what we might have thought a few years ago, an outsourced supplier offering contact center services?
So we work with a wide spectrum of customers. We work with some that are very mature and some that are very new. And we work with local companies, regional companies, and global brands. And so we have to be, I think, very flexible and malleable to accommodate the needs of a particular brand. But when we're being asked to engage in services for a company, there is an appetite to do more than just the status quo. I think there are, as we all know, we're in a very competitive marketplace. There's a lot of companies that do a lot of the core essentials, if you will, of contact center services. But as we've all seen with the evolution of Teleperformance over the last several years, really being able to provide a full end of business services, I should say full end-to-end suite of business services is, something now that has put a little bit more onus on us to ensure that we're looking across the entire life cycle management for a customer and their experience to be able to proactively come to the table with new ideas and solutions.
Mm-hmm. And we've been talking today a little bit about some content moderation examples. Is that a good example of a business area where you're not just taking instructions from the client, and hitting certain SLAs, but you're able to feed back and use analytics and actually have human agents that are feeding information back into the machine learning system?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both. It is a discipline, if you will, that is still relatively new. AI plays a very important part in effective content moderation and overall trust and safety space. However, I think as we all understand, AI is not yet at a point in perfection and has a difficult time in analyzing context. And this is where our humans are extremely critical to the effective output and the accuracy levels that are expected of our clients in this area. It's a very important work type. It's one that we're entrusted with a great deal of responsibility to help protect and take care of our clients' brands, as well as keeping potentially harmful, unlawful, hateful things off of the internet that can gain exposure and damage both brands, as well as cause harm and frustration to an individual. And so it is an area that I think in terms of innovation, yes, but more importantly, it's a byproduct of the innovation that has occurred around the world as the digital universe has only grown exponentially. And so it's created a lot of new opportunities for us and very important ones at that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you talked about protecting users. Security is also another important area where innovation is changing. The way that you're protecting customer data that your clients are trusting you to look after. So how is that environment changing, and what are you doing here to protect data?
Well, it's probably the least exciting thing that we get to discuss, but it's probably one of the most important in this day and age. I think cybersecurity is, if not already at the top of everyone's priority list, one of the key focuses for every CEO of every organization is protecting data and ensuring that they're learning from some of their peers or other brands' mistakes. And so the onus on us, where we have a dynamic in which we are touching a very large number of their customers, and so protecting that customer data and privacy is something that, from a physical perspective, has been kind of at our core competency for a very long time. We have consistently throughout the group, across the 80 countries we operate in, standards that are effectively non-negotiable when it comes to physical security in the environment. Beyond that, the added layer that we continue to invest in, innovate, yes, but I think looking across the globe for just best in practice, best in class standards for data privacy and things that we can be doing from antivirus to malware protection to your absolute best efforts to protect against hacks, which we know are only going to continue to come. The attempts at them are going to exponentially grow. And so we are investing absolutely millions of dollars in this space in terms of the digital protection to take what is already a very good standard at Teleperformance to the absolute best in class.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great. And finally, the customer journey is evolving faster than ever. What do you think that we should be looking out for in 2020? I mean, are there any specific trends, technologies, or different innovations that are really interesting and that you're seeing right now?
Well, I think what's most interesting for me, I think what's interesting at Teleperformance is that our company is now in a good position to be able to effectively support customers in their full suite of services. So whether it's customer facing, whether it's behind the scenes, we talked about moderation. There are a number of areas that we can support our brand. So I think in terms of the here and now, that's exciting, and that allows us to do more things and to diversify our overall core offerings as we'll continue to grow as a company. Obviously, everyone wants to talk about the AI and the bots and the RPA, and we are firm believers of enabling these technologies to be better at what we already do. And many of those today are enabling our staff to be more efficient and more effective, more accurate at what they do. But those are going to play, I think, a more important part of putting it more sophisticated and more complex type of need on the human. And so AI absolutely has its place. Its place will continue to grow. But I think as it falls into the suite of services with companies like Teleperformance, it forces us to continue to evolve and change as a service company to ensure that we're providing a full suite of end-to-end solutions that are not just end-to-end, but another layer of sophistication, if you will.
Thanks for listening to the CX Files podcast. Please take a moment to review the podcast because this helps other listeners to find it. And if you have any suggestions, then get in touch with me on Twitter or LinkedIn. I'm at Mark Hillary with 2 L's, or just search Google for Mark Hillary.